Oof. I probably failed before that around $60,000 to $80,000 worth of accounts.
Which strategies you tried? Were there different concepts, ICT, SMC, price action? What really worked for you after 6 years of losing?
Okay, so yeah, I've tried everything that you can think of. EMAs, trend lines, support resistance, name it, I've probably tried it. But what started clicking for me initially, obviously this didn't make me profitable, but it was like, oh, this might actually be good. And that was just supply and demand, because that's just understanding the market as like an investor. It's like supply and demand is kind of how the world runs. For 6 years, unprofitable. I've tried so many strategies, but then finally, after those 6 years of failure, it just clicked. I got one payout last year in April 2024, and since then now $650,000 in payouts.
Hey guys, welcome to FundedSquad YouTube channel. It's a special podcast here today. We are joined with one very special guest here in London who have turned $650,000 in prop payouts within last 1 year. It's just over a year ago when he became profitable with props and he started making payouts. He has been trading, of course, for a very long time. It's been 7 years since he started trading. But we're going to deep dive into this special episode with our trader here who have a lot to share with you guys. So we are joined today with Zamco. Thank you so much for joining today, and congratulations for doing over 650,000 in payouts. Tell me something about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and how you started trading.
Sure. So yeah, my name's Zamco. Been trading 7 years, and I initially started trading 7 years ago back in 2018 when I was 17 years old. And how I got started was a friend of mine referred me to a company called IML, and it turned out to be a pyramid scheme. I figured that out quite quickly, but they were still teaching trading on the side. So that's kind of what intrigued me. Like, okay, what is this trading thing? And I went onto YouTube, Instagram, and looked at random clips that I could about trading, and started just trial and error basically with lots of different strategies. And for 6 years, unprofitable. I've tried so many strategies, but then finally, after those 6 years of failure, it just clicked. I got one payout last year in April 2024, and since then now $650,000 in payouts. So yeah, things kind of switched very quickly for me.
That's nice. What was your amount for the very first payout that you got?
The first payout was a $2,000 payout on a 10K account. Okay. So that was 20.
So you did 2K on a 10K account?
Yeah, so it was 20%. Nice.
And before you did your first payout, how many accounts you failed actually?
Oof. I probably failed before that around $60,000 to $80,000 worth of accounts.
Oh, and these are with prop firms or just like overall, including your personal capital?
So that's overall, including my personal capital. Yeah. In terms of prop firms, probably, I don't know, probably like $20,000, $30,000 of.
That's a huge amount that you lost before you did your first payout. That too was only 2K.
Yeah.
So when you were losing all your money while trading your personal capital, and also then after that doing with props, what were you thinking? Like, what made you keep investing into the accounts and you kept buying again and again? What were the reasons?
I just couldn't give up. The opportunity was so great. I've already been trading 6 years at that point. So then I'm thinking, I've put in so much time and effort. Why would I give up now? It's like, I feel like I'm so close to breaking through. Why stop now? If I do, then I would regret it for the rest of my life. So I think, yeah, because of the amount of time I had already put in, I couldn't stop now. And again, I was afraid of being trapped working a regular job and being told when I can eat, when I can do this. I really don't like being told what to do, and I like to take control of my own surroundings. So I was fearful that I can't end up like that. I have to find a way out. So again, so it was the mixture of trading already for so long, I can't give up, and fear of being trapped.
That's perfect. In 2018, you were 17 years old. Pretty young, to be honest, when you started out. Did anyone stop you in your family, your parents? Like, I remember when I started back in 2016, I was 19, right? And because it's not a thing really common that when you start trading, a lot of people, they don't know about it, especially your parents or your family. So yes, they did support me because most of the time I was actually taking money from them to put into my accounts.
Yeah.
But in your case, how was it like?
So my parents were extremely supportive of trading. They don't really understand it at the beginning, but they also didn't say, don't do that, just work a regular job, because they knew that for one, I don't really listen much. Yeah. So telling me that, it's like he's not really going to listen. He's going to keep doing what he wants to do. So fair enough. So they were quite supportive. And my mum, she gave me around £5,000 throughout the course of 2-3 years of trading prop firms to purchase accounts. I failed all of it, so I lost all of that money. My younger brother, he gave me around like £11,000 over those 2 years of failure. So again, everyone was really supportive of me. They saw the vision and they helped me try and get there.
Beautiful. When you started, you went through different strategies. Which strategies you tried? Were there different concepts, ICT, SMC, price action? What really worked for you after 6 years of losing?
Okay, so I've tried everything that you can think of. EMAs, trend lines, support resistance, name it, I've probably tried it. But what started clicking for me initially, obviously this didn't make me profitable, but it was like, oh, this might actually be good. And that was just supply and demand, because that's just understanding the market as like an investor. It's like supply and demand is kind of how the world runs. So understanding that, it was kind of like, okay, I think this is going to start working. We did see some wins and losses, of course, but again, overall, still unprofitable. But then the issue was, you understand supply and demand, but which one do you use? You didn't know. I didn't know that back then. So I started refining things over the years, and I started understanding, okay, follow market structure. So we have market structure, you're following market structure, but then you're also using supply and demand areas. And then you're also understanding now imbalances. So that's fair value gaps. And then understanding premium and discount pricing. So then I started collecting all of this bit of information and formulating a strategy from that. So yeah, that's kind of now what my strategy is following market structure, using premium and discounted areas, following imbalances, so fair value gaps. And of course, that kind of links in with supply and demand. Yeah.
So when it started clicking for you, when you started understanding, how did you refine it to the point that you knew like how you're going to be looking at higher time frames to identify the market structure and the market trends? And then what time frame you decided that that's the time frame I'm going to be focusing on to execute all my trades? And are there any specific pairs that you trade with, or it's just like every single pair where you see market structure is developing?
So initially I was trading lots of money, like all the pairs, all the currency pairs that you could think of. But then when I switched to trading NASDAQ initially, I just saw like, okay, market structures followed very well on this. And I tended to kind of trade the 1 minute time frame. I just saw that this works much better in terms of entries. So then I started thinking, okay, if I can get entries on the lower time frames like this, I need to now figure out, okay, where am I going to take this trade to? How am I going to get the high risk to reward? And that's where I thought about, okay, use higher time frame areas and look for the low time frame confirmations. And that's where I started getting the really high risk to reward trades. And that's kind of where I started seeing a bit of profitability. Like I can hit really big trades and actually get the direction quite correct most of the time.
That's lovely. Well, talking about strategies, strategy definitely play a very important role. When you look for the entries, you have to know what's exit strategy that you're going to be using every single time when you enter into a trade. But there is one piece of a puzzle a lot of traders they miss, and that's risk management. And risk management, in my opinion, is probably the most important thing. After once you have a strategy, you know what you're looking for in the market, you know from where you need to enter, when you need to enter, from where you exit, and when you exit. So talking about risk management, how do you find like risk management? Like how do you look for the trades? That how do you define what type of risk that you're going to be taking in every single trade that you're taking?
So when it comes to prop firms, my risk management is different. Personal capital, that's a completely different level, but specifically to prop firms, I tend to risk however much I'm allowed to. So if a prop firm allows me to risk the whole daily drawdown in a single trade, I will do that. The reason I do that is because I understand I'm not risking 5% of my money. It's just I'm risking the challenge fee. So whether I blow the account, I can buy another one. It's not high risk because the only actual risk to you is the challenge fee. So let's say I have £100,000 in my bank and the account costs me $500. Now, if I'm risking 5% in a single trade, people are thinking that's crazy, you're risking 5%. But no, I'm only risking 0.5% of my actual bank account because that's how much I'm paying for the account. So that's why I tend to risk very heavy on the challenge phases. And the reason for that is because I can pass very quickly. Because spending a lot of time in the challenge phase is a waste of time. You're not making any money. So once I get funded, That's where I dropped my risk to approximately 1% or 0.5, like in between 0.5 to 1% risk, because now you actually have the money, you can actually make profit, and you also don't want to lose the account too quickly. And then I also have a very high risk to reward strategy.
Yeah.
So I know that I can risk 0.5 to 1% and I can make 10, 20% in a single trade. So that's kind of how my model works. High risk to just pass and then drop the risk because I don't really need to risk that much to make a lot.
One thing I want to mention here, I recently did one video about risk management, and I was talking about that you need to start risking what you are comfortable with. So how you look at it, like you have 100K in your account, and you're going to be risking only 500. So basically you're taking challenge as that you are risking on your personal, but it's like 500 out of 100K amount that you have in your account. So that definitely, I think, probably the best way to do it in my opinion, because once you are through the challenge phase, then you're going to be risking 0.5% or maximum 1. And that's the actual amount that you're going to be risking, or you should be risking, because now the account sizes are like 100,000 or 200,000 or even 300,000, depending on which firm you're trading with. So anywhere between $500 to $3,000 risk per trade, depending on the account size, is I think you are more comfortable with risking. I want to know, you did your first payout that was worth of 2,000, and that was on the $10,000 account.
Yes.
And what platform was that?
Equity Edge.
Okay, you went with Equity Edge. You did like 2K on a 10K. And what were the amount you were risking? Was it the same or was it different at the time?
I think back then I was risking very heavy.
Okay.
I was risking 4 to 4.5% in the challenge, and even once I got funded, I was still risking 4 to 4.5%. And the reason for that was because it was a 10K account. It didn't feel like much to me. So that was how I started off. But that kind of got me thinking, if I just risk a lot, I can still hit a decent size payout, and the account size, like in terms of the amount you pay, it's very little. Like for a 10K account, it was like what, £50, maybe £60. So I'm not spending that much, but I have lots of attempts that I can keep doing, and one trade just needs to win with a very high risk, and that makes back all of my losses plus a lot of profit. So that kind of got me thinking. But of course, once I later on scaled to like 2.6 million funding, I didn't need to risk that much. I can risk very little, and it's still a substantial amount. So obviously, initially on a smaller account, I just started off with very high risk.
And that 2.6 million, when was it? Like how long was it ago?
Yeah, so the 2.6 million funding I had 2 months ago, and in July, literally last month, I lost all of it.
How?
Because I've just been on a losing streak.
Okay.
So July's been a very bad month for me, but it is what it is.
Well, you had a 2.6 mil in funding overall. You ended up losing. Like, what do you think happened other than just like you were losing, but you could have stopped trading probably, right? Because you were in a losing streak.
Yeah.
And in summer, we know like there is not much volume as compared to the rest of the months.
Yeah.
So what lesson you take from here and how you're going to be improving in future?
So the lesson to take from this, obviously, for the 7 years I've been trading, I know summertime has always been bad for me.
Yeah.
But I thought, I have this good strategy, maybe it'll work, even in summertime, but it just didn't. So that, I guess that's the lesson to take from it. When it comes to summertime, I really do need to just kind of just relax, really, take a break.
Makes sense.
But it's okay, because even though I lost that 2.6 million funding, I'm now back to 500K funding. Mm-hmm. I already have a 21K payout pending, plus another 4K. So I've made back all of my losses that I had in July. So like I've bought a lot of challenges, failed them again in July. So I've spent a lot in terms of trying to make back that 2.6 million in funding. I haven't got the amount back in terms of funding, but I've covered my costs now, just with one payout. One trade, one payout, I've made back all of my losses. So it's fine. I understand my strategy. I'm very confident in my strategy. Once the market conditions are favorable, I know I'm going to get back to that funding very easily. I just keep following the same strategy.
Interesting. Out of 650,000, what's the amount that you did this year in 2025 in the first 7 months?
Yeah, so far it's been $400,000 this year. And my target is 500,000 for this year, but I'm already very close to reaching that target.
So how do you feel about it?
I feel like I can do better. I'm always in a state of feeling like this isn't enough. I could have done better. So I'm never really satisfied with the amount.
Okay, that makes sense. So you have done 650 and you're close to your 500K target. That's going to bring you to 750,000 overall.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be reaching 1 mil for sure very soon.
Inshallah, that's the aim.
Inshallah, yeah. And once you're going to be doing more than a mil, then what's your plan? Are you going to be continue trading with props and then keep scaling with all these firms, or like you're going to be focused more on personal? How it's going to look like?
So I kind of have an estimate that maybe within the 5 years more from now, like 5 years trading prop firms from now, I could maybe get enough capital to not like really need to trade prop firms and go into more passive sources of income. I don't really like trading, so I kind of want to move away from that. And I definitely don't want to trade my personal accounts because it's a completely different psychology. It's more stress. I'd rather not do that. So kind of for the next 5 years, trade prop firms and look into different businesses, kind of get to a more passive source of income so that I don't have to trade.
You just mentioned you don't like trading, and then you trade and you make money from it. Like, how does it work actually?
Well, I mean, I just trade for the money.
Yeah.
I understand it. It's a good skill that I have. I do it just for the money.
Yeah.
But it's stressful and it takes away a lot of time.
Yeah.
And when I'm, let's say, for example, out with my wife or my family, I'm not really present because I'm just staring at my phone or I'm in a trade or something like that. So I'm never really present in the moment a lot of the times. And that's quite bad. When I'd reflect on it, I think that's not, that when I get old, I know I'm going to look back at those times and think, wow, like there was such good things going on and I just wasn't present. I didn't care enough to actually take in the moment. So I don't want to live in a state of regret. So I understand. I just do it for the money. I'm just trying to get it over and done with, and then I'm going to try enjoy my life.
As a trader, we manage risk, right? We go through a lot of stress while looking at charts. We're playing with the numbers and we're risking a lot of money. Does it affect you other than this, like in any personal matter when you deal with people? Like, did it make you better or it's having any effect on you? Like, how does it work for you?
I think trading is making me a much better person because it's forcing me to have to self-reflect. And without self-reflection, you're not going to improve in life. A lot of people, they just do the same thing again and again and again. And 20 years down the line, they're still stuck in the same position that they started off with. But if you want to be successful in trading, it's going to require you to change. So I think that aspect alone helps you in general life as well. Just being self-reflective, understanding where you go wrong, where you go, where your strengths and weaknesses are, and it just helps you become a better person overall.
With now the money that you make from props, so how do you deal? Like, are you into charity? You do something like, and also other than that, because your parents were helping you a lot, your brother is here, he was helping you a lot. So how does it now look like right now?
So now, in terms of charity, it's something that I'm trying to focus more on. And that doesn't necessarily mean actual charities. I just send money there and that's it. Yeah. Rather, I look at it as, okay, who are the people around me that actually need the money? Definitely. So I have family in Pakistan, and when it's time to send charity, I do my best to send the actually go over and beyond what I need to. But then also, my general family, my wife's family, anyone that needs help, like you see they're an issue, like they have a financial issue, car's broken down, they need like £500 to get it fixed or whatever, and they can't afford it. I literally just straight away, I'm like, here you go, take the money. I don't just do whatever with it. So I'm very quick to just, anyone needs the money, okay, here you go, have it. When it comes to my brother, I take him out everywhere to eat. So whenever we go out to eat, I just pay for everything because of course he supported me and I'm his older brother. So it just makes sense to support him. And for my family, it's again, whenever they need the money, I'm just there to offer my help.
I think, that's what the actual freedom is like. And that's a benefit of being a profitable trader, because sometimes there are things that happen to you in life, and for whatever reason, you end up having some losses here and there, right? So if you have that freedom that you can just take care of all these things without having to think about it twice, that's actual freedom looks like.
It's definitely very, very freeing to be a profitable trader. I don't even have to think about the cost of things. And I think another benefit is when I tend to tip a lot for it's just nice. So you see someone working so hard, it's nice to give them like a really generous tip, and just seeing them like their smile or just seeing them light up, I don't know, it just does something for me. I really do enjoy just helping people financially, because if I help them without seeing it, I don't know, I don't feel that great. That's why I struggle with just sending to a charity just online. I want to physically help the person. That's what I enjoy the most, because I like to see their smile. I like to see how they react to it. So yeah, I guess that's a really freeing aspect, because I know I can do that.
Yeah. Coming to the next point, and that's on trading psychology. We were talking about it just very like a few minutes ago. As a trader, when you keep trading, has it happened to you that you are looking at charts, you keep trading at charts, and there is no opportunity in the market, but because there is no discipline or you want to take trade and you ended up taking trade without any confluences?
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. But that's one of the reasons I don't trade on my computer. Because if I get up, sit at my computer on the trading session, now it's like I'm at the screen, I'm on my desktop. Now I'm going to try to look for a trade. But that's why I trade mainly from my phone, because if there's nothing, just go off of it, just go on Instagram or whatever. But if I'm sitting at a desk, it's kind of forcing me. Okay, I'm in a trading zone, I need to trade. So that's why I tend to trade from my phone, to not allow myself to just take a trade for no reason.
On the other side, like I have another opinion. When it comes to me, when I'm looking at charts on phone, then I tend to take trades. So for me, how it started working, that I stopped using phone. Like I literally deleted trading view from phone, MT5, all the platforms from my phone, because I was having an issue that whenever I'm looking at mobile, then even if there is no opportunity, because I know that I'm going to be having my phone with me anywhere I go, I was just randomly entering, and then 10 minutes later, I was closing trade mostly in losses.
Yeah.
So I decided, like, for me, probably it's going to work better that if I just stick to sitting in front of charts on my desk and then only look for opportunities when I'm there. Otherwise, I won't be looking for it. But for you, it's working different. So I think, of course, as a person, it's different for every single person right out there. But it's good to know about one thing, like, how do you deal with losses? That's probably one of the most important asked questions recently at FundedSquad.
So dealing with losses is simply understanding your strategy. I understand my approach to prop firms. It's all just a numbers game. I know I can lose a lot of these accounts, but all I need is one win on one account, on a funded account, and that's going to make back all of my losses plus more. So it's just repeating this cycle, understanding it's just one trade. I'm just looking for that. So even if I take the losses, I know that's part of my strategy. It's fine. To me, it's all numbers, and over the long period of time, the numbers work out in my favor. So it's having that true confidence in my strategy and my system. I can take the losses. It's fine, because again, I went on a losing streak this whole July. I knew, okay, it's just July. The moment markets get back to normal, all I need is 1-2 trades on a 200k account. It's gonna make all my losses back plus more, which already has. So again, it's just proof to me more and more. So seeing this proof right now again, it's like, okay, see, it worked. All I had to do was get one win. I've made back my losses. So I'm comfortable with losing lots of trades because it's fine. I know the statistics work out.
What's your win rate for your strategy?
In regular months, my win rate, I would say, if I actually stick to seeing all of my confluences and taking that trade, I would say easily 70 to 80% of the time it works. And that's because I mainly trade German 40 and it's got a really high win rate.
All right, interesting. I want to know, what was the biggest losing month before you became profitable? What was the biggest losing month that you had throughout the years?
Well, I mean, I've been losing for 6 years, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly within those 6 years of failure what was the longest losing period, because it just kept on, it was constant. So it's really hard to pinpoint that. But I think my biggest loss that I feel is I had turned like £100 or £500, I don't remember. I turned that into £25,000 on my personal account, and I lost it all in one day. And that, I think, was the biggest like pain for me. I've never felt that type of pain before in trading, because that was a lot of money back then. And I couldn't eat for like 4 days straight. Like I really struggled to eat. I felt very nauseous. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to do anything. So that's kind of the most significant loss to me in my
And when did it happen?
This was, I think, back in 2019.
Okay.
I think around about there.
So it was, you just started. And
Sorry, no, 2021. 2020 to 2021, I think, in between those years.
After that, when you lost 25K in one single day, which you turned from 500 into 25K, you couldn't eat for, of course, 4 days. But did you take any lessons, and did it help you anywhere, like when you started back again trading, or you kept losing again?
Back then, I didn't change anything. And again, that was my issue. I just kept trying to do the same thing again and again, not really being self-reflective and learning from my mistakes. And that was my biggest issue. I only became profitable after I got married. And that's what I believe helped me, because being married, you just have to self-reflect. Your wife will criticize certain things and pick out certain issues that you have with yourself. I didn't even know I had issues, those specific ones. But hearing that from my wife, I just had to be self-reflective. So I think being married was the biggest change. Otherwise, before that, I just did the same thing again and again, expecting different results.
You know, one thing, I think it's mentioned in Quran that when you marry, a woman brings risk as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the losses that you had. You started making profits with props over a year ago. It's almost 1 year, 3-4 months.
Yeah.
What was the biggest month that you ever have?
The biggest month I ever had was in May 2025, and that
This year.
was $250,000.
With what firm?
It was across multiple firms,
Okay.
but like that was my biggest month in terms of payouts. And my biggest payout alone was from Top Step. So that was split from 5 accounts, but that was $100,000 from one firm. And one single payout just from one account was $50,000 from Quantecal. But yeah,
That too in May.
No, that wasn't in May. This was a few months before.
Okay, that's perfect. And when you got your 100K, one single payout from one firm, how did you feel?
I felt like I could do more again.
Okay, that's nice.
I don't get it. I don't really feel excitement when I get paid out.
Yeah, good thing.
I don't know. I don't want to be ungrateful. I've been told that, that's coming off as being very ungrateful, but I don't know. I just don't feel the excitement anymore.
I mean, you need to look for more, to be honest. It's if you keep improving yourself and if you keep working on yourself and there is a lot more potential that you have and you can do a lot more better things, I think I tend to agree that you can definitely achieve a lot more. One thing is, you as a trader with over 650,000 in payouts, the knowledge now that you have, and after losing for 6 years, of course, if you go back and you start trading again back in time, what would you advise to yourself, to your younger self? Like, how would you have done the things differently?
I think for myself back then, there's numerous things I would say, but one specific thing is definitely to trade indices, because that's where I found my profitability. Before, I'd be trading like 30 different currency pairs, and that was very stupid of me. So definitely trading indices. And if I just started out trading indices and sticking to one single session, that would have changed everything for me, because you understand that session, you understand that indice, you understand how it behaves at that time, and that's it. If I had just built up on that, I would have changed everything for myself.
All right. And what would you advise to traders who are just starting out or are struggling to pass any pro firm challenge or make any profits on their accounts? What they need to do in order to become profitable?
I think one key thing to do is to detach from the money. Don't be too attached. I need to make this specific amount, or if I lose the account, I'm going to lose this much. If you're worried about losing an account, then you're taking too big of a challenge. Like, the account size is just too big. It's costing you too much. You should be going for challenges that you're comfortable with losing. So detach from the money and actually be smart about the account sizes you're purchasing, and it should be something you're okay with losing.
Well, thank you so much, man, for joining today. I really appreciate you coming here, and it was an honor talking to you. Guys, this was Zamco here with over 650,000 in prop payouts. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and there was a lot of lessons that you can take from here, a lot of notes that you can take, and that you can apply to your trading and improve as a trader. So if you haven't subscribed to FundedSquad channel, do that. I will see you guys in the next podcast. Bye for now.